High-value men understand that true power lies in self-control, especially in conversations. They don't rush to speak or react impulsively. Instead, they choose their words carefully, staying calm and composed no matter the situation. This controlled demeanor, rooted in Stoic philosophy, attracts women because it signals confidence, emotional maturity, and respect for both themselves and others. By mastering emotional restraint, high-value men make every word count, leaving a lasting impression. In this article, we'll explore how high-value men speak to women using Stoic principles to make her miss them. From mastering self-control to creating an air of mystery, we'll break down the key ways they build attraction. Mastering the art of listening without interrupting. Building on the idea of self-control, another powerful trait that high-value men exhibit in conversations is their ability to listen without interrupting. While it may seem simple, the art of listening truly defines how a man communicates and connects on a deeper level. This ability to listen not just with ears, but with intention, shows emotional intelligence and respect. When a man listens attentively, it makes the other person feel heard, understood, and valued, something women deeply appreciate. I remember a time when I was talking to a man who, despite being extremely successful and constantly surrounded by people, made me feel like I was the only one in the room. We were at a crowded party, and amidst the noise, he was fully focused on what I had to say. He didn't interrupt or rush to offer his opinion. Instead, he let me speak freely, nodding thoughtfully and maintaining strong eye contact. There was no hurry, no impatience. When I finished speaking, he took a moment to respond, carefully choosing his words. It wasn't just what he said, but how he made me feel, like I was the most important person in that moment. I found myself opening up in ways I hadn't planned, simply because I felt truly listened to. This level of attention isn't just about silence. It's about engaging with what is being said, understanding the emotions behind the words, and responding thoughtfully. High-value men don't just wait for their turn to speak, they absorb the conversation. They don't let their minds race ahead, preparing a response while the other person is still talking. Instead, they live in the moment, fully immersed in what is being shared, understanding that their presence and focus are the most important things they can offer. The Stoic approach to listening aligns perfectly with this concept. In Stoicism, there is a deep respect for wisdom and knowledge. A Stoic knows that true learning happens when you listen first and speak second. This isn't about agreeing or disagreeing, but about creating space for the other person to express themselves fully. Women, in particular, are often drawn to men who can listen to them without judgment or interruption. It creates an emotional bond that transcends words, making the woman feel validated and important. This type of active listening also comes with a deeper understanding of silence. A high-value man doesn't feel the need to fill every pause with his own voice. Sometimes, a well-timed silence speaks louder than words. By letting the other person speak freely, he shows that he values what they are saying, and that he doesn't need to dominate the conversation. By mastering the art of listening, high-value men don't just engage in conversation. They connect on a level that's rare and compelling. This is what makes women miss them. The sense that every moment with them feels meaningful, every word is heard, and every conversation leaves an imprint. The more you practice listening with intent and presence, the more powerful your interactions become, and the more women will want to experience that again. Being mysterious yet open. Balancing sharing and restraint. Building on the importance of active listening. Another key trait that high-value men display in their conversations is the ability to balance mystery with openness. This delicate balance makes them magnetic, both intriguing and approachable at the same time. A high-value man knows that too much transparency can be overwhelming, while too much withholding can make him seem distant. Instead, he shares just enough to spark curiosity without revealing everything at once, creating a dynamic where the woman feels drawn to learn more. I remember meeting a man who had a way of making every conversation feel like an exciting discovery. He wasn't secretive or evasive, but there was an air of mystery about him that kept me intrigued. When we first spoke, he shared details about his life, his passions, his goals, but in a way that left questions open, almost as if he was inviting me to dig deeper. One moment, he'd reveal something personal, like a childhood memory or a difficult challenge he'd overcome. The next, he'd switch gears, casually talking about something completely different, leaving me curious about what else he might have experienced or thought. It wasn't about playing games or pretending to be something he wasn't. It was about creating space for the conversation to flow naturally, allowing the woman to feel that there's always more to uncover. This balance of openness and mystery is rooted in Stoic philosophy. A Stoic understands the power of moderation. They don't overshare because they know that leaving certain things unsaid invites curiosity, fosters deeper connection, and sparks attraction. For example, when discussing his career or life ambitions, a high-value man might give just enough information to make it clear that he is driven and successful, but not go into every detail. He will leave gaps in the conversation, gaps that the woman might subconsciously want to fill by asking more questions. This keeps the interaction engaging, and she begins to feel that there's always more to him than meets the eye. This approach also keeps the high-value man from becoming predictable. The power of unpredictability in conversation can keep a woman thinking about him long after the conversation ends. If you're always an open book, things can feel a bit too easy or even boring. But when there's a mix of openness with moments of mystery, it creates a spark, an exciting feeling that leaves her wanting more. The key here isn't to play games, but to be mindful of the pace and rhythm of sharing. Too much mystery can seem like emotional unavailability, but just the right amount can make a woman feel captivated and eager to connect with you further. By maintaining this balance of sharing enough to reveal who you are, while leaving room for curiosity, you create a dynamic that makes her want to get closer. This intrigue, paired with the connection you've already established through active listening, forms a powerful foundation. It's the combination of vulnerability and restraint that makes a high-value man so attractive. Women miss him because he's someone who doesn't just give away his entire life story. He invites her to be a part of it, piece by intriguing piece. In the end, being mysterious doesn't mean being closed off or emotionally distant. It's about creating a sense of excitement and curiosity, making every conversation feel like a chance for discovery. Speaking with purpose, every word counts. Building on the concept of balancing mystery with openness, the next key trait that high-value men exhibit in their conversations is speaking with purpose. Every word counts. High-value men don't waste time with small talk or meaningless chatter. Instead, they speak intentionally, choosing their words carefully to convey meaning, depth, and clarity. This purposeful communication is not only about being concise, but also about being thoughtful, making every interaction feel significant. I'll never forget a conversation I had with a man who left me absolutely captivated with just a few carefully chosen words. We were sitting in a cafe, and while the table next to us was filled with laughter and casual banter, our conversation felt different. He didn't waste time talking about the weather or asking questions just for the sake of it. Instead, he spoke about his experiences, his beliefs, and his passions, always with intention. I remember asking him about his thoughts on personal growth, and his response struck me immediately. Growth isn't just about achieving goals. It's about learning to be content with where you are while pursuing where you want to go, he said, without any hesitation. His words weren't just profound. They were delivered with such clarity and purpose that they lingered in my mind long after the conversation ended. This is exactly the power of speaking with purpose. High-value men understand that time is valuable, both theirs and the person they're speaking to. They don't rely on filler words or meaningless phrases to fill space. Instead, they make their words meaningful, delivering them with the same care and attention they'd give to any other valuable resource. It's about quality over quantity. Each sentence carries weight because it reflects their true thoughts and emotions, not just what is expected of them in the conversation. The Stoic philosophy aligns perfectly with this concept of purposeful speech. Stoics value clarity and simplicity. They believe in speaking with integrity and avoiding excessive or unnecessary words that don't add value to the conversation. When you adopt this mindset, it's easier to speak directly, and people are naturally drawn to your confidence. High-value men speak to women with the intention of creating a real connection, not to impress or to fill silence. They know that words are a reflection of their inner thoughts and values, and they want their words to resonate, not just occupy space. When you speak with purpose, your words don't just pass through the air, they leave an impact. A woman will remember what you said and how you made her feel because you took the time to express yourself authentically and with intention. This is what makes high-value men stand out in a crowd of others who may be speaking without thought. Instead of delivering a string of superficial comments, they deliver powerful, meaningful words that leave the other person reflecting on them long after the conversation is over. Speaking with purpose also involves being present in the moment. It's about listening, reflecting, and responding thoughtfully. This makes every conversation feel significant, not only for the person you're talking to but for yourself as well. When you speak with purpose, you elevate your interactions, making them richer and more impactful. In the end, high-value men understand that words are not just tools for communication, they are powerful instruments for connection. When you speak with intention, you communicate not only your thoughts but your respect for the person you're engaging with. And that's the kind of communication that makes a woman miss you, because it shows that you value her time, her presence, and most of all, her thoughts. Showing genuine appreciation without overdoing it, building on the importance of speaking with purpose. Another powerful trait that high-value men display in their conversations is the ability to show genuine appreciation without overdoing it. While many men might think that complimenting a woman endlessly will make her feel valued, high-value men understand that authentic admiration, given at the right moment, has far more impact. It's not about showering her with praise every chance you get, but about making her feel truly seen, respected, and admired for who she is, without overwhelming her with excessive flattery. I recall a time when I was out with a man who, from the very beginning, seemed to understand this balance perfectly. He didn't overwhelm me with compliments like other men often did. Instead, he made small but meaningful observations that showed he genuinely appreciated who I was, rather than focusing solely on my appearance. I remember he said, "You have such a calm energy about you. It's rare to meet someone who can be so at peace with themselves." In that moment, I felt deeply seen. His words were not exaggerated, nor were they something you'd hear from anyone. They felt real, and most importantly, they made me feel special because they were focused on something much deeper than surface-level attributes. High-value men know that the most effective compliments are the ones that touch on a woman's character, personality, or unique qualities rather than just her looks. They don't heap praise on her constantly, but when they do offer admiration, it is sincere and feels earned. In fact, they tend to focus on qualities that are important to them personally. They'll praise her intellect, her kindness, her drive, or the way she makes others feel comfortable in her presence. This not only builds genuine connection but also makes her feel that he appreciates her for who she truly is, not just as an object of attraction. This approach aligns closely with Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes moderation and self-restraint. Stoics believe in avoiding excess, whether it's overindulgence in material things or excessive flattery in relationships. A Stoic would recognize that while praise is valuable, it's only meaningful when given with sincerity and respect. When you show genuine appreciation, you reinforce your respect for the other person's qualities, and you do so without expecting anything in return. This kind of approach feels refreshing because it signals emotional maturity and self-assurance. For instance, instead of constantly telling a woman she looks beautiful or complimenting her appearance, a high-value man might appreciate her for the way she handles a difficult situation or how she lights up a room with her laughter. It's about recognizing and acknowledging the things that truly matter: her authenticity, her values, her intellect. This type of appreciation creates depth in the relationship, making her feel seen on a much deeper level than superficial praise ever could. The beauty of genuine appreciation is that it doesn't need to be constant to be powerful. High-value men know that a well-timed, meaningful compliment has far more impact than a barrage of them. They allow their admiration to feel natural, spontaneous, and rare, just like them. When a man consistently shows appreciation in a balanced and authentic way, it creates a magnetic energy that draws a woman in, making her miss him not because he praised her all the time, but because he made her feel truly valued in a way that few others do. In the end, showing appreciation without overdoing it is about valuing the other person in ways that go beyond the surface. It's about giving compliments that matter, at the right time, and making sure they come from a place of genuine admiration, not just for the sake of gaining attention. High-value men understand this, and this is what makes them unforgettable. Leaving her wanting more, the power of silence and absence. Building on the idea of showing genuine appreciation, another powerful trait that high-value men master in their conversations is the ability to leave a woman wanting more, through the strategic use of silence and absence. It's not always about saying the right things or being present at every moment. Sometimes, the most magnetic quality a man can possess is the ability to create space and allow curiosity to build. When a high-value man knows when to speak and when to be silent, when to be present and when to step away, he creates an irresistible dynamic that leaves the woman thinking about him long after the conversation ends. I remember meeting a man who embodied this perfectly. We had spent the evening together, enjoying a long conversation about life, ambitions, and the things that mattered to both of us. But as the night drew to a close, he didn't rush to fill the silence with small talk. Instead, He allowed the natural pauses in conversation to linger. It wasn't awkward. It was almost like he was giving me space to reflect on everything we had discussed. Then, just as I thought the night was winding down, he stood up, gave me a smile, and said, "This has been great. I think we both know there's more to discover, don't you?" And with that, he left. He didn't wait around for a drawn-out goodbye or attempt to prolong the interaction. The moment was perfect because he knew when to step back, leaving me with a sense of curiosity and an undeniable pull to see him again. I found myself missing him almost immediately. Something about the way he created space made me want more of his presence, not less. High-value men understand the importance of absence. They don't constantly need to be available or present to remain interesting. They know that by leaving some emotional and physical space, they allow the other person to miss them, to think about them, and to reflect on the connection. This isn't about playing games or being emotionally distant. It's about creating a sense of longing. Just as a powerful, compelling book is one that leaves the reader on the edge of their seat, the high-value man leaves the woman wanting to turn the page and discover what's next. This principle connects deeply with Stoic philosophy, which teaches the value of detachment and self-sufficiency. A Stoic understands that they are whole and complete on their own, and they don't need to be constantly involved in every moment to maintain a connection. They know that their value doesn't diminish when they step away. Instead, absence can enhance the quality of their presence. By not overcommitting or overcommunicating, a high-value man ensures that when he does show up, his presence is even more significant. The power of silence also speaks volumes in relationships. High-value men don't feel the need to fill every moment with words. Sometimes, silence in a conversation allows the other person to reflect on what has been said, to process emotions, and to deepen the connection. When they leave, it's not abrupt or rude. It's a natural conclusion that builds anticipation for the next encounter. In the end, high-value men understand that presence is not about being physically available at all times. It's about making your presence impactful, meaningful, and something that is valued when it does occur. They don't chase, they don't overstay their welcome, and they don't need to be constantly on the radar. Instead, they let the power of absence do its work, and this is what makes women miss them, because they know that when they do show up, it's special, rare, and something worth anticipating. This balance of presence and absence is what makes a high-value man unforgettable. Keeping a calm, unflappable demeanor, building on the power of absence and knowing when to leave, one of the most compelling traits high-value men possess is their ability to remain calm and unflappable in any situation. This isn't just about staying quiet or appearing disinterested. It's about having an inner peace and confidence that radiates through their words and actions. High-value men don't get rattled easily, even when the conversation turns tense or emotions rise. Their calmness acts as an anchor, drawing others toward them and making them feel safe, understood, and respected. Women are especially drawn to men who can maintain their composure in stressful moments, because it signals emotional maturity and confidence, two qualities that are undeniably attractive. I remember a particular evening where I witnessed a man exemplify this ability in a way that left a lasting impression on me. We were at a dinner party, and a disagreement broke out between two guests over something trivial. As voices began to rise, most people looked around nervously, unsure of how to de-escalate the situation. But then, he quietly leaned in and offered a simple observation. "I think we're all just reacting to the same thing differently. Let's take a breath and listen." His tone was steady and calm, yet full of authority, and in that moment, the entire room seemed to relax. The tension eased, and the argument fizzled out without any further escalation. What struck me most wasn't just his words, but the way he delivered them. His composure in the face of rising emotions made him appear powerful and wise, and everyone around him felt it. In that single moment, he had taken control of the situation without being forceful or dominating. It was a quiet confidence that spoke louder than any loud confrontation ever could. This ability to remain calm, especially in challenging situations, is rooted in Stoic philosophy, which teaches the importance of maintaining control over one's emotions. Stoics believe that external events, whether positive or negative, should not disturb one's inner peace. Instead, a Stoic focuses on maintaining a balanced state of mind, regardless of what happens around them. This allows them to act with clarity, wisdom, and intention, rather than reacting impulsively. High-value men, much like Stoics, understand that emotions are valid, but they should never dictate their responses. They don't let drama or conflict throw them off course. Instead, they respond with measured thought and calm authority. What makes this trait so magnetic is that it creates a sense of safety. A woman who sees a man maintain his composure, even when things get tense or uncomfortable, is more likely to feel secure in his presence. She knows that no matter what happens, he won't be swayed by external chaos. His calmness reassures her that she can rely on him, and it deepens her respect and admiration for him. A calm demeanor also signals that the high-value man isn't afraid to face difficult situations head-on. He doesn't avoid conflict or shy away from challenging conversations. Instead, he meets them with wisdom, emotional control, and an unwavering sense of self. This makes him not only attractive but also dependable and trustworthy, a man who can handle whatever life throws his way, without losing his cool. In the end, high-value men understand that composure is not about being emotionless, it's about choosing how to respond. By keeping a calm, unflappable demeanor, they create an aura of strength, wisdom, and reliability that draws others in. Women miss them because their calmness offers a sense of stability in a world that often feels chaotic. When a high-value man remains composed, he becomes someone who exudes not only strength but the ability to make others feel at ease, a quality that, once experienced, is hard to forget. Engage with us and join the conversation. Did you feel the power of what we just shared? If so, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Speaking Head, Red Heart, drop a comment below and let us know what you think about these powerful ways high-value men communicate. Do you agree or have other tips to add? Let's get the conversation going and connect on a deeper level. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video valuable. Thumbs up, medium light skin tone. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated to bring you more engaging and insightful content. Raising hands, medium light skin tone. And hey, if you love this, there's so much more waiting for you. Make sure to subscribe and check out our other videos packed with even more tips on becoming the best version of yourself. Rocket light bulb, let's grow together. Your journey to mastering relationships, confidence, and self-worth starts here. 100 points, so what are you waiting for? Let's get this conversation started. Leave your thoughts, share this video with friends, and stay tuned for more. The best is yet to come. Collision.